Hello, welcome to the morning news. The death toll from the powerful earthquake and avalanche that devastated Nepal is rising as rescue teams continue to search for survivors in the rubble. Officials say the number of dead now stands at more than 3,700, with thousands more injured. Saturday's quake, which registered a magnitude of 7.9 on the Richter scale, caused the buildings to collapse while also leading to avalanches that flattened the Mount Everest base camp. While countries are pledging badly needed humanitarian aid, affected residents are trying to cope and deal with the aftermath of the disaster.
Everyone here is cremating victims of the deadly earthquake that struck at noon. I have also lost my father and grandfather. They were buried under a house.
Chile continues its cleanup after the Calbuco volcano's eruption last week, covering the area and the country south with ash. The volcano registered two major eruptions of ash and lava, forcing the evacuation of some 6,500 residents and leading to a state emergency being declared. The volcanic debris has also spread into Argentina and Uruguay, affecting flights in the southern Cone region of South America. In the Argentine capital of Buenos Aires held its first ever primary election Sunday. They allowed the city's residents to choose which parties and candidates will run in July's local elections. Officials reported that around 70% of the over 2.5 million registered voters participated. The primary system was implemented in 2009 after an electoral reform backed in the national government. For more on this, we go to our correspondent, Laureano Ponce.
In Buenos Aires, the voting for the local primaries took place normally on Sunday. This was the first time that the city residents choose their candidates in a primary election. More than 2.5 million voters were eligible to participate in these polls. The main mayoral hopefuls cast their votes early in the morning, and the winner for the three main political forces were Horacio Rodríguez Larreta for the right-wing Pro Party, Martín Lustó for the Organized Citizen Energy Coalition, and Mariano Recalde for Cristina Fernández de Kirchner's political force, the Front for Victory. The official results were supposed to be available about 10 p.m., but due to some technical difficulties, the authorities said that they will be available late at night. This is Laureano Ponce reporting for teleSUR right here in Buenos Aires.
Protests in Mexico Sunday marked 7 months since the Ayotzinapa students disappeared. Activists marched in the capital of Mexico City, as well as the state of Guerrero, where demonstrations clashed with law enforcement. The 43 teacher training students went missing after being shot at and detained by local police. Demonstrations over the case have been constant, with family members contesting the government's position that the students were killed by local cartels. Tens of thousands took to the streets of Guatemala City to demand the resignation of President Otto Pérez Molina and Vice President Roxana Valdetti following revelations of a $130 million corruption scandal. Valdetti's former private secretary, Juan Carlos Monzon, is being sought by authorities after an investigation uncovered the large-scale corruption network where customs officials took bribes in exchange for reducing customs charges. The director of the customs office and 20 others have been arrested, while Interpol issued an arrest warrant for Monzon. China continues on its campaign against corruption. Authorities have arrested the first of the suspects wanted for graft. A former investment company manager suspected of embezzling close to $2 million was repatriated after fleeing the country in August 2001. Interpol's China Bureau released a list of 100 persons wanted for corruption and fled. On Sunday, military also confirmed that 3 more senior officers are under investigation. Security was tight in Malaysia ahead of the 2-day Association of Southeast Asian Nations meeting that begins this Monday. Malaysian police arrested 12 people linked to the Islamic State group who seized explosives and foiled a plan to attack the Leaders Summit, which is expected to deal with issues of counter-terrorism and territory dispute on the South China Sea. The political and economic organization includes Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. It also represents a combined nominal GDP that has grown to more than $2.3 trillion. A week after the shocking tragedy that claimed the lives of at least 900 people attempting to cross the Mediterranean, migrants continued to be rescued while attempting the dangerous journey. 274 rescued migrants arrived at an Italian port of Taranto, with emergency workers on hand to provide medical assistance after their vessel was found stranded off the Libyan coast. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon and EU Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini were expected to meet with Italian Prime Minister Matteo Renzi as the region's leaders continue to search for a solution to the crisis. While Renzi has suggested that boats used by traffickers be captured and destroyed, the UN chief said that there is no military solution to the issue. Also in the Mediterranean, voters in the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus voted for peace. They elected the left-leaning candidate promising to press for an agreement with the country. Mustafa Akinci of the Communal Democracy Party won Sunday's presidential runoff vote with just over 60% according to figures provided by the Election Commission. The 67-year-old former mayor ran on a platform to strike a peace deal on Cyprus, which has been in turmoil since the 1974 Turkish invasion split the island on an ethnic line between Greeks and Turks.
I said I will pursue policies that focus on a solution, and that we go forward with confidence-building measures that will support our vision of a solution.
And the home of baseball's Baltimore Orioles was the site of protests last weekend as anger continues to rise over the police killing of a young black man while in custody. Hundreds clashed with police outside the Baltimore's Camden Yards Stadium Saturday when a number of demonstrators attacked police vehicles during a protest over the death of Freddie Gray. He died days after slipping into a coma from a severe spinal neck injury while in custody of Baltimore police officers. On Sunday, family and community members held a funeral for the 25-year-old whose death has reignited nationwide protests. More on these on our website telesurtv.net/English. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.